All right, we're doing arctan of x squared, and I would just like to remind you of, firstly, our normal tan function. Normally tan yoink, so that's pi on 2, negative pi on 2, and we just concern ourselves with that domain. So that's tan theta. And then when I want to do the inverse, yeah, I wish I'd drawn this better. So that's arctan x. Now notice how arctan x, it goes, so the range of arctan x is from negative pi on 2 to pi on 2. If it becomes arctan x squared, the squared has the effect of like we're not going to have any negative values anymore. So we're literally, like, it's going to look different, but it's still just going to be up here. So it's going to start off at 0. Because we're only putting in values greater than or equal to 0. Okay, if we've got this thing. Now let's think of this. The reason we didn't have to think through this one too properly was as x tends to 0, x squared also tends to 0, x tends to infinity, x squared tends to infinity. X tends to negative infinity, x squared tends to positive infinity because it's squaring it. This one though, as x tends to 0, 1 on 1 plus x squared, as this bit gets smaller and smaller and smaller, it just tends to 1, doesn't it? Because it's 1 on 1 plus something tiny. Like it may as well disappear. And as x tends to positive infinity, that's going to tend to 0, isn't it? Okay. Arctan 1, so now I'm thinking up here. Like as we tend to 1, we're going to get closer and closer and closer to, well, 1 root 2, 45, which is pi on 4. So as x tends to 0, arctan, I needed to be doing this all well below here. I tried to I thought it was just an aside, but no, it's the my actual response to the question. So as x tends to 0, arctan of 1 over 1 plus x squared is going to tend closer and closer to 1. No, not 1, pi on 4. As x tends to infinity, that's going to get closer and closer and closer to 0. Arctan 0 equals well, 0. So as x tends to infinity, both positive and negative, by the way, because it's still going to become, because it's squared, it doesn't matter. So the range well, we're going to be between 0 and pi on 4.